Just by Monday, new House of Representatives or DPR members were officially inaugurated. In total, there are 575 people who carry out their duties as people's representative for the next 5 years. Unfortunately, last period of House of Representatives left behind really bad image. They left behind a myriad or legislative issues, corruption cases, low compliance on reports of state organizer assets, and so on. Well, as a matter of fact, corruption is the main cake. Economies there are afflicted by a high level of corruption, which involves the misuse of power in the form of money or authority to achieve certain goals in illegal. Motives behind corruption usually when the individual or institution has lack of money or low in budget. But how much actually the legislation budget for House of Representatives? Let's check the first graphic. This is the DPR budget of 2014-2019 period in billion rupiah. In 2015, the budget allocated as much as 430.5 billion rupiah, but the numbers were being cut in 2016 to only 289.3 billion rupiah. But the number again increased in 313.4 billion rupiah in 2018. In 2019, the number is determined to 238 billion rupiah. In short, in 2019, it was targeted to reach 238 billion rupiah. That number decreased 24% compared to the previous year, which amounted to 313 billion rupiah. If average, the amount of the DPR's budget for making a bill is around 6.56 billion rupiah. Despite the big number of its legislation budget, we may take a look at bigger cake, which is the draft state budget and the state budget itself in 2020. Let's see the next graphic. This is the draft state budget versus state budget for DPR in 2020. And yes, it's 5.1 for state budget and 4.2 for draft state budget, or in RAPBN. And see, the number is beyond what was expected to be. The House of Representatives budget will be used for operational and non-operational expenditure. And let's break it down. As much as 44.4% will be used for operational expenditure, or 55.6% for non-operational expenditure. One reason for additional budget is for the implementation of the legislative function, institutional strengthening, management support, and expertise support for the functions of the board. The additional funds came from the reallocation of various spending by other ministry institutions. And how about the previous year's budget for DPR? Let's take a look at the next graphic. This is the budget record for DPR in billion rupiah. In 2015, it was 3.6 billion rupiah, but the number keeps on increasing to the level of 4.6 in 2018, and of course to 2019 the number is pretty much the same, 4.6 billion rupiah. As we have seen during the 2015-2019 period, the DPR's budget tended to fluctuate but grew by an average of 19%. The growth of the DPR's budget include complaints for the construction of the DPR building and the addition of aspiration for the DPR members. As the budget keeps on growing, then why did the representative still do corruption? Yes, we are aware that corruption is a complex phenomenon. Its roots lie deep in bureaucratic and political institutions, and its effect on development varies with country condition. Probably we may take a peek on how much actually the salaries of House of Representatives. So the basic wage costs, or as much as 4.2 million rupiah. Wage plus allowance for chairman is 80.3 million rupiah. Wage plus allowance for vice chairman, 78.8 million rupiah. Wage allowance for the member, as much as 66.1 million rupiah. The seats in Senayan are indeed tempting, although capital is not needed. However, judging from salaries, benefits, and to the facilities provided by the state to DPR members, it may not be necessary to think twice. If it is totaled, a member of DPR can pocket a salary of more than 50 billion or 50 million each month, including salary, allowances, and other incentives. The calculation does not even include retired DPR members who are received for life. How much the number of DPR corruption case? Let's see the next graphic. So this is a statistic of the corruption case that had been, targeting or having a part, or the DPR member having a part on the corruption case. The numbers keeps increasing from 2014 to 2018. The biggest number of the corruption case that happened in 2018, the number of cases reaching 103 cases. Based on KPK's data, members of People's Representative Council or members of local People's Representative Council that involved in a corruption cases increased significantly in 2018. This is the highest number of corruption case compared to previous years. And we have to remember that corrupted economies are not able to function properly because corruption prevents the natural laws on the economy from functioning freely. Therefore, with all the privileges and sufficient wage, this period of House of Representative can be safe and sound. We hope for that. And stay tuned on Market Headlines because we'll be right back after the break.